Sir Julius Chan launches a personal memoir. Moves underway to impose tax on unprocessed fish. Heavy rains destroy temporary dam.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for Saturday's news. Sir Julius Chan has launched his book titled Playing the Game. This book gives an insight into triumphs and downfalls of one of Papua New Guinea's founding leaders and the father of our currency, the Kina and Toya. Playing the Game is the life story of Sir Julius Chan, and he best described it by saying that as a young man, he played the game of rugby, but over the years, a different game dominated his life: politics.
The launching was attended by high-profile guests and family and friends of Sir Julius Chan. Sir Julius said recollecting events and memories and writing the book was quite an experience.
There is nothing like actually sitting down, recollecting your life, the triumphs and frustrations, to bring everything, the people and events into focus.
Sir Julius writes about his family history of their Chinese origin and his early childhood at Namatanai before being relocated to Rabaul because of World War II. He says that his Chinese, PNG and Australian upbringing taught him to be strong, and his rugby days in Australia taught him how to be a team player. His book also touches on how he started his political career and key areas of his political life, like the Bougainville crisis and the liberation of Vanuatu.
I was beginning a nearly 50-year career in politics. I chronicle the career in my book. My career has been one of constant learning. From the earliest days in the House of Assembly to my times as Prime Minister and now as Governor, I have learned that just as in business, in politics,
Opposition leader Don Pollier officiated the launch. He said the book was a great insight into PNG politics.
A government's tactful avoidance of vote of no confidence doesn't create stability, but by a strong rule of law and its enforcement and good governance does.
For those who were present at the book launch, they were able to purchase the book and get it signed by Sir Julius Chan. The book can be bought online or in specific bookshops. Adelaide Xerox Kari National, EMTV News.
A clash between a group of Highlanders and another from East Sepik has forced the closure of business in Madang as of 9 o'clock this morning. This has also affected public transport, trapping those who are in town and want to get home and leaving those who are trying to access services in town. Police have been firing shots openly and are still on the lookout in and around Madang town. The clash is said to have been provoked by the killing of 2 Sepik men and the rape of a woman who was with them, also from the East Sepik. Police have yet to confirm casualties from this clash, and the situation is still tense. Since the 1980s, anthropologists from the United States have been documenting Engen culture. Today, a tiny representation of the depth of traditional knowledge and wisdom is held at the Take Anda, the Enga Cultural Center. This knowledge is now being taken into the formal education system as Enga Provinces works to preserve its culture through its children.
The Take Anda is a center every visitor to Enga Province has to visit. This building contains a tiny part of Enga's history, cultural knowledge and wisdom. Contained in this one building are ancient proverbs that guided society, poetic spells and rules for warfare, the principles of which can still be applied today in daily life. For thousands of years, Engen culture evolved, largely isolated from external influences until the 1930s, when contact was made with foreigners. The Take Anda documents this period of transition. It also offers a glimpse into Enga's very structured past. Aki Tumu is the director of the Take Anda.
And the mission, the objective of this place from day one was to bring cultural education back to the Enga people, and especially our young Engans. after realizing that since Inge came into contact with the outside world in around June 1934, up to now, it's not even 100 years, but we realized that a lot of our values and traditions were being forgotten so fast.
In less than 100 years, Enga has gone from the Stone Age to the Computer Age. This rapid development has caused the people to abandon some of the old ways that were beneficial to the community. And it's forced the provincial government to look at ways to preserve the province's culture and traditions.
So much is packed into one single proverb. And so, given the cultural education program, you could take one proverb and discuss it with the class and come up with the points. How did this help society? How much is in there? How much of it is our values that we see worth keeping and worth passing it on?
Enga has now drawn on one of its strengths, its single language. And this is being used as a medium of communication to integrate its culture and traditions into the education system. Scott Waide, National MTV News, Wabeg.
Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister Richard Maru says he will be introducing a policy in Parliament for PNG to charge export tax on unprocessed fish leaving the country. In the last 2 decades, the country has missed out on millions of kina on unprocessed fish sent overseas for processing. This has prompted the minister to bring forth the policy paper to Parliament to make export tax compulsory by next year.
Commercial fishing in PNG remains a major contributor to the PNG's revenue, with 5 fish canneries fishing the 2.5 million square kilometers exclusive economic zone. The success rate has been high, but in the last 2 decades, government authorities cannot measure how much money have been missing in tax that should have been collected on unprocessed fish sent overseas for processing. Raw fish sent overseas for processing means Papua New Guineans have been missing out on jobs and revenue. Realizing this, Minister Maru said he will be bringing to Cabinet a policy to introduce an export tax on all unprocessed fish.
I will also be going to Cabinet for this country to, from next year, introduce an export tax on all unprocessed fish leaving Papua New Guinea.
Countries like Fiji, Solomon Islands and Indonesia exercise export tax on unprocessed fish.
When you take fish from their country and take it out unprocessed, they charge you for loss of income, for loss of jobs. And Papua New Guinea has to go down this path, and I'll be taking a submission to Cabinet to now introduce an export tax from next year. So any fishing company that does not process fish in Papua New Guinea must be hit with a tax. In other words, we generate money for this economy.
The minister said this is an option to make fish caught in PNG waters to be processed onshore. Quinten Alom, National MTV News.
Heavy rains in Northern Province has again washed away the dam that supplies water to Popondetta town. This has caused water disruptions for residents since Thursday. Water PNG Popondetta said staff are working around the clock to restore this service.
Water supply in Popondetta town was disrupted due to heavy rains on Wednesday night at 8:15. Popondetta residents told MTV News today was day 2 since the disruption on Thursday. Water PNG Popondetta Business Center Manager Kingsley Waike confirmed the dam was washed out on Wednesday. Earlier last month, MTV visited the dam and saw the impact caused by continuous heavy rain. The dam gets washed away 2 to 3 times annually because of flooding. There is an urgent need for a permanent and a backup water source because currently there is only one temporary dam that supplies the whole town area.
Big rain is coming and we get floods, but we are trying to maintain, currently we are trying to maintain this wall there, and we have river training 1 kilometer upstream.
The water issue was brought to light in Parliament by Ejivitari MP David Arore in the recent sitting, saying that Papua New Guinea has become a victim of Cyclone Guba since 2007. Arore asked what the government plans were to resolve the water issue. Public Enterprise Minister William Duma gave his assurance to look into this matter. Meanwhile, Water PNG Papua New Guinea is working around the clock to hopefully restore water this afternoon. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
Karamui Salt Nomane district in Simbu province has signed a 3-year contract with Manalos Aviation to carry out rural medical evacuations. While there aren't proper statistics available to indicate the numbers of mothers and babies dying during labor, the move is expected to help reduce infant and maternal mortality rates in the electorate. Simbu Governor Noah Cool says the provincial administration will allocate funding to support this program. The signing of the MOU happened yesterday at the Chimbu Provincial Government headquarters. It allows Manalos Aviation to have one of its aircraft, pilot and nurse in Kundiawa town on standby for medevac calls from Salt Nomane Karimui.
It's not remote and rural, it's lack of effort over the years. And now we've been able to change it and bring Manalos Aviation on as part of that process.
Local MP Mogarema Way signed the document with Manalos Aviation Chief Executive Officer Jürgen Rue and the Chimbu Governor Noah Cool. The Chimbu Provincial Government has pledged to support the program this year or make allocations for next year's budget.
So, medevac helicopters, we really need them to transport people out in times of emergencies.
The Manalos Medevac program has been successful in Morobe, funded by the Morobe Provincial Administration. In Milne Bay, it has been successful in the Esala district. Last month, a mother in Morobe's Minyamia district with birth complications was saved along with her baby. Civil Aviation Minister Davy Stephen, who also has the Medevac program running in his Esala district, was at the signing ceremony yesterday. He says his electorate has benefited greatly.
The best point of contact is the health workers themselves. And I'm happy to say, in the case of the Milne Bay Province experience, the health workers are the first to say that this is a long time in coming. They commend the initiative.
Bethany Harriman, National MTV News, Kundiawa. Health Minister Michael Malabag says his department will work closely with Port Moresby General Hospital to assist with diagnostic test kits and ongoing monitoring of the dengue fever situation. Kits have been made available through the World Health Organization to support the Central Public Health Laboratory and the NCD surveillance team. In relation to dengue in NCD, the Health Minister said since February, 37 cases tested at the lab were positive. He also confirmed 2 people have died at the Port Moresby General Hospital and many others are being treated for related symptoms. The Health Minister says there's also unconfirmed reports of the Zika virus in the country. You're watching National MTV News. Ahead in the news, financial literacy training in the autonomous region of Bougainville, skills training for the RPNGC and by-election for Samurai Murwa underway very soon. Stay with us. Welcome back to National MTV News. People in the autonomous region of Bougainville will broaden their knowledge of savings and investments with the financial literacy training they receive. This follows the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the World Vision PNG and Central Bank to extend the microfinance expansion project throughout the autonomous region. Under the MOU, World Vision will conduct 5,000 retail training.
Though the region's economy is heavily dependent on quality cash crops, including some of the best cocoa in the world, many subsistence farmers lack the basic knowledge of savings and investing, thus creating a hurdle for financial inclusion and stability. A small but significant graduation ceremony will see these vibrant new trainees travel far and wide around the region to impart their knowledge to said subsistence farmers.
Something when building up gain capacity blow. Me personally, because right now when I work I'm training the groups in the village law, saving money. but narapla something long and now we minoklo schooling mo lem lo side lo budgeting money lo side lo working more savings plan long all.
But there are farmers in the villages, only selling money, but at the end the money goes and no record of it. So me by come na asi money me holim go away. That's because we are lacking this training. So from this training now, I think we can be able to save our budget, our earnings, as well as mipla by go training more line do mipla lo place too.
The target for these trainees is to educate more than 5,000 people around the region in financial literacy.
The trainers under the World Vision that is nominated by World Vision, they have to go to the remote areas. There's different sections or districts that they work in under the different programs that World Vision has, so that they have to train their people. They're already doing something on the ground, but there's certain areas that we step into, those especially those fill the loopholes that they have identified to us.
Lian Jarari, National EMTV News, Arawa.
Through a partnership program, the RPNGC and the Australian Federal Police have trained 15 police personnel in Lae on interviewing skills. Detective Inspector Mark Ingram of the Australian Federal Police said the week-long course was important to keep up with the laws and with court decisions.
The training was funded and conducted by the Australian Federal Police. It is designed to enhance the interviewing skills of our PNGC members to improve their evidence briefs and the prosecution rates.
We can interview these suspects, and also witnesses. We collect much information, and then to prosecute the suspect and actually conduct a record of interview.
AFP Detective Inspector Mark Ingram said AFP needed to carry out this course to improve the skills of our PNGC officers. The AFP course is the first held in Lae, but there are plans in place to carry out the training in the other provinces.
The skill set is always needs to change and keep up with the Parliament laws and with the court's decisions.
The officers will now train other personnel in Lae and Rural Command on the investigative interviewing skills. The training will also assist the courts. The production of court files should speed up because there will be more evidence available for the court to make a decision. Mata Luis, National EMTV News, Lae.
10 candidates have nominated to contest the Samurai Murwa Open by-election. They include the incumbent MP Gordon Wesley and a local businesswoman Penita Levinai. Polling will commence on the 27th of April and the returning of writs on May the 27th. The by-election is a result of a successful election petition. Chief Electoral Commissioner Patilius Kamato said the by-election will be conducted simultaneously with the polling of the vacant Murwa LLG President's seat. You're watching National EMTV News. Coming up next in Trukai Sports, Hekari and Lae City Dwellers make their appearances at the Oceania Champions League. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. We begin with football, and PNG giants Hekari United FC have crushed OFC Champions League debutants AS Lossie of New Caledonia in an emphatic 5-1 victory. Goals by Tommy Semi, Wira Wama and Emmanuel Simon ensured a confidence-boosting win.
The pace of the match was frantic from the start as Hekari looked to assert themselves over their opponents early. And they were rewarded with their frenetic attack as Tommy Sammy would drive straight through AS Lossie's defense to smash home the opener.
Sammy with a wonderful turn. Can he finish? Yes, he can. 2-0 Hekari. There's recriminations going on amongst...
That score doubled soon after as Sammy turned provider.
Oh, and that's a wonderful finish from Tommy Sammy's cross. Wirawama.
Yes, it just loops up. He's got one thought and one thought only, and he just controls his volley beautifully.
For their part, AS Lossie would create a good foray into Hikari's territory, and a goalkeeping blunder by Ishmael Poller would gift Lossie a precious goal.
25 takes a deflection to the near post, and it's a goal. And Hikari extend their lead. It's now 4-1.
That fight back, however, short-lived. The second half, a far more dominant display by the team in red, as Hikari would score 3 more of their own without reply, with Emmanuel Simon curling one in to round off proceedings.
For Hikari to make it 5, and they take it. A superb goal. And the Papua New Guineans are now way out in front. It's Emmanuel Simon with the 5th.
The next match will be against Suva FA on Tuesday. Jeremy Moggy, National, EMTV Sports.
And that wraps up Trukai Sports. Up next, you were the details for the next 24 hours.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Taking a quick look at the weather for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Port Moresby, Kerma and Alata mostly fine, and fine weather expected in Daru and Popondetta. To the Momasa region, evening showers expected in Wau and Madang, partly cloudy in Leh and Vanimo, and cloudy periods in Wewak. To the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy periods expected in Lorengau and Kavieng, cloudy with showers in Kokopo and Rabaul, evening showers in Kimbe and Buka. And in the New Guinea Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, you can expect some showers with morning fog. And that ends National MTV News for today. From the National MTV News team, I'm Mary Botulo. Pleasant viewing. Good night.